Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Welcome to the bonus show. I have a couple of follow-ups here on the the discussion we had about the whole reading labels thing. It was on the regular show, and I forget what the topic was, but we got into reading labels. Was that on the regular show?
We've done it many times, but yeah, food labels and just choosing the item with fewer ingredients was the idea.
Yes. Well, Sean wrote in. He said he was at the store and was in a hurry, just picked up the cheapest peanut butter they had, brought it home, and took a bite of the sandwich. And it was like he said it tasted like honey. He looked at the ingredients. He sent us a picture: icing sugar, corn syrup solids, and hydrogenated oil. And it's insane. You know, when I buy peanut butter, the ingredients are peanuts and maybe a little bit of some type of oil. But
after he sent this, I looked, and I always buy unsalted peanut butter. So the ingredients were unsalted organic peanuts. That's it. Yeah. There was no other ingredient. And of course, when you have that type of thing, usually the sort of peanut oil or the oil, whatever oil it is, will sort of separate and be at the top, and then you have to kind of mix it. It's a little bit of a pain, but the only ingredient is peanuts.
Yep. And so, you got to pay attention to this stuff. I mean, nobody should be buying the peanut butter that Sean bought.
And this also causes a lot of confusion because you hear, nut butters are healthy, high protein, good fat. Peanut butter is a healthy thing. But the thing is, when you look at peanut butter that has icing sugar and corn syrup, you're talking essentially about eating something that's closer to cookies or chocolate syrup than peanut butter. And so this can also be confusing because people may think they're being healthy by eating peanut butter. Little do they know it's corn syrup and sugar.
Yeah, it's really bad. You'll see commercials for like Jif that basically say that if you're a good parent or you're a good mom, you'll choose Jif for your kid. Well, actually, that's not true. If you're a mindful parent, you will avoid the Jif because it's shit. So, Sean, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. It sucks when you're at a big supermarket and you're in a hurry and you're grabbing things because those supermarkets are just full of terrible, terrible things. Here's something interesting that happened to me Saturday night. I was working. It was my last night at the bar in Austin. I decided I wanted to enjoy weekends in Austin, as I have not done that my entire time here.
Wow.
But anyway, I was working and I had no idea that there was a gay pride parade. So in comes the gay pride parade, and I'm checking it out, and it's the usual. It's one of the outrageous, if you will, gay pride parades, right? Where people are dressed up. Some people are wearing almost nothing, and there's lots of, it's very colorful and chaotic and wild. It really wasn't that interesting. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen parades like this before, but there was one guy close to the front of this parade that just had the most brilliant flag I've ever seen in my life. And this would only, be funny in Texas. But David, you are familiar with the whole come and take it thing. The flags with the cannon and that they say come and take it, very big in Texas, right?
Is it sort of like a Second Amendment thing?
Yeah. Well, I think it dates back to, the cannons and the Mexicans, and it's a really old thing. And now people parade around the shirts and the flags. They might just have a rifle, not necessarily the cannon, and it says "Come and take it." And who knows if half these people even understand, what where that came from. Yeah. But there was one guy who had the flag, and it looked identical to the cannon "Come and take it" flag in every single way, except instead of a cannon, there was something else that looked just like a cannon, and it was a butt plug. And "Come and take it." And it was just the funniest, satire I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if those were like mass produced or if this guy made it himself. I wish I had my phone on me at the time and I could have taken a picture of it. But just the Yeah, it made my night. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Now, in Lewis, I know, obviously Texas is quite conservative, but Austin is a sort of liberal enclave there.
Yes.
Is there a lot of protesting when there's a gay pride parade there?
I didn't see any protesting. I used to see more, I don't know, religious zealots with their signs and handing out flyers on the street. I have not seen them in quite a while, and as far as I know, they weren't around during this parade. But yeah, a quick follow up here on the FIFA corruption investigation. We have yet another fascinating detail into well, yeah, it's all bribery. That's the root of all of this. But according to these new revelations, Germany sent a shipment of rocket-propelled grenades to Saudi Arabia to help secure a bid to host the 2006 World Cup. That's what's happening now. I guess this happened, to secure this, to swing the Saudi vote from Morocco to Germany ahead of the 2000 vote, and it's just incredible. It just it keeps getting deeper and deeper. This rabbit hole, right?
Absolutely. It's just stunning. This is clearly being exposed as one of the most corrupt organizations. And in fact, the Olympics also seem to have their own fair share of corruption problems. And I guess when you have it's sort of the perfect storm of corporatism and advertiser influence combined with international lobbying efforts combined with competitive sports. So it's like you kind of have the perfect storm of what would lead to an insanely corrupt event planning situation.
Yeah, corruption across the board. President, like I said, is stepping down. Claims he was not directly involved in any of this. Oh, of course not. Yeah, I'm sure he knew nothing about it. What a fucking idiot. I get the chills whenever I see that guy. He's just such a creep. But anyway, moving on. A study has just revealed to us that, they claim that eating your placenta does absolutely nothing.
And give the background on this, because there's this whole fad now around placenta.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the idea is that after you have your kid, the placenta is kept, and then it's broken down and put into pills, or perhaps there are other methods. And over time, you eat it. You eat your placenta, and the idea was that it's incredibly healthy for you. It's full of nutrients, and there are celebrities who swear by it. Yeah, but there is a study now. I guess it was kind of like a meta-analysis. The researchers analyzed 10 studies on, now I guess there's a specific word for this, placentophagy, published between January 1950 and last year. They all looked at the health benefits of this. The researchers found no evidence of such benefits, nor any clear indication of risks. It seems like it's almost just, inert. While previous research has identified some important areas to direct future studies, the data supporting the benefits of placentophagy for human mothers is limited to anecdotal and self-reported evidence, said Sharon Young, PhD candidate at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Incredible. Now, before you heard this, did you think that it was just woo, or did you think that there might be some benefits to this? I thought it's possible that there could be some benefits to this.
I thought it's possible in the same vague way that all sorts of things that people try might have some benefit, but I had zero reason to think that there actually was any benefit.
Okay. Well, it appears that there is no benefit. It seems like, I'm not sure what the how much money is around this. I'm not sure who is profiting off of turning placentas into pills, but rest assured there is profit being made, and I guess there doesn't need to be. So we'll follow this. It's I guess it's no big surprise, but just throw out the placenta, and if someone else wants it, donate your placenta. If you're worried about getting cloned, don't donate your placenta. That's all I have to say about that. We have not talked about Seinfeld in a long, long time. And there is this incredible story that has just come out about why something happened plot-wise in the story. Now, I'm just going to assume that everyone knows what I'm talking about here and knows who I'm talking about.
I think a lot of our audience may not know. Not everybody are Seinfeld fans.
Well, I apologize. I apologize if you have not seen this, but I'll try to set it up for you as best I can. So Jason Alexander in the show, his character was George. There was this whole thing where he is getting married to this woman, to Susan. And it's in the show, they eventually killed her off. George wanted to break things off, but he couldn't. He tried, and she wouldn't let it happen. And it's so the wedding was on, and they ended up getting the wedding invitations. They bought the cheapest envelopes possible. And Susan dies from the chemicals from licking these cheap envelopes. And so George no longer has to marry Susan. And it was hilarious, right? I mean, we all thought that was funny, and it was good writing, and I thought it worked. And would you agree with me on that?
I did, although it is kind of an abrupt thing to do. And I get that, you know, if the character does get married, it completely changes everything about the show. So you can't really do that. But yeah, I didn't really know what the logic was behind the scenes for killing her off.
Well, as it turns out, she was killed off because everybody hated working with her.
Right. Now, to be clear, I heard this all go down on the Howard Stern show because that's where this came from. Jason Alexander did an interview on the Howard Stern show. Immediately after it happened, like the next day, Jason Alexander ended up apologizing and saying he has no personal problem with Heidi Swedberg, who's the actress who played Susan, and that it's all gotten blown out of proportion and blah, blah, blah. He didn't say that she was a bad person or that people hated working with her as a person, but more that people just had trouble playing off of her. And he even, it almost felt like someone had gotten to him and said, whoa, you went too far, because he even said, it was probably in part because of my inexperience that I wasn't able to work to play off of her as well as I should have. But it became this huge thing.
So maybe not so much that people didn't like her, but maybe that she just wasn't a good fit for the show.
That was more the idea, just that people weren't sure how to play off of her, and you can blame her or you can blame the other actors or whatever, but just more that there was not a good situation there.
Yeah. Well, I guess according to this article, now tell me if Jason Alexander said this during the show. In this article, it says that after one filming, where an episode where Jerry and Julia Louis-Dreyfus had a lot of material with her, I guess at the cast lunch after, Julia said, "Don't you just want to kill her?"
I think he did tell that story. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I guess it is clear though that they changed what was originally planned.
Well, or they may not have planned the end of it necessarily at the time. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it goes season by season. Right. We don't know.
That's true. But they killed her off because people did not work well with her, or did not like her, or she was just not a good fit for the show. And so they adapted and did that. But it's still one of those classic things in the show that, those few episodes where this is, an ongoing thing, it's just so funny and it's brilliant. And I guess it's a testament to Larry David and to the other writers. Yeah, I say Seinfeld is still the best sitcom of all time.
One of my favorites, but not everybody might even care about it, so we won't spend too much more time on it.
All right. But you wouldn't say it's the best sitcom of all time.
It's one of the best for sure. I mean, I really like. I don't know if Curb Your Enthusiasm is considered a sitcom. It's really more of a different thing. But yeah, the traditional sitcom with a laugh track, I'd say Seinfeld is definitely one of the best. And let me mention on that note that the Indiegogo campaign continues, and I won't spend too much time on it. But please do consider making a contribution. We're now getting into that expected lull where the frequency of contributions goes down. We're close to $18,000 in. So please consider this a good time to make your contributions. We 175 donors already is fantastic, and we've just got to keep the momentum going. I really hope that we can achieve what we're trying to do here.
Yes, it is, despite the great start, still an uphill battle. And we are fighting the good fight. We are patriots, Dave. Let's keep it up.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.